Hello everyone and welcome to another special video. So I've been working on Fun Ore some more, and I think I'm actually going to release a beta here. There's one bug in particular that I'm having a hard time tracking down. It's not a huge bug, just a minor annoyance, inconvenience with the alloy smelter, and I'll get to that in just a moment. So other than that, I'm not really... Well, there's a couple of little bugs with the alloy smelter. But otherwise, I think this is coming along pretty well. So another thing I've added since I last talked about it is Guardian Ore. And this will... There you are. Drop prismarine shards and prismarine crystals, and very rarely a sponge. It's about a 1 in 200 chance, so... I think that's reasonable enough. I mean, the Elder Guardians do drop sponges, so you might get lucky and get one from the Guardian Ore. But, of course, you have to find the stuff first. And the mob ores are not exactly particularly common. That sounded a bit redundant. Some other improvements is I've added some quick tweaks to the config file. Well, the category is called quick tweaks with an underscore before it, so it's right at the top of the file. And it currently just has 3 settings: one for disabling all of the metal ores, one for disabling all of the meat ores, and one for disabling all of the mob ores. So you could turn off all of one category with one config option if you just want to get rid of one of them and be done with it. So I've already talked about the plates and the gears. I have not gotten around to working on the textures anymore. I'm going to take another stab at them to see if I can make them look a bit better. Okay, so over to the furnaces and the alloy smelters. So I've done one thing in particular to help with tracking down bugs. I've made it so that when you open the GUI, it actually displays a bunch of information up here in the upper left. Basically, it's just a bunch of variables from inside the alloy smelter, and I also did the same thing for the metal furnace. So the first category is actual variables. These are things that will change when you're doing things. So let's see, if I were to get some more cobblestone and put this into the metal furnace, you'll see these things start changing as the state of the furnace changes. Below that we have constants. These I'm just kind of outputting just because, again, these are constants, so they do not change. And there have been a couple of bug fixes with the metal furnace. So previously, I don't think this would have been possible with the gold nuggets in the output slot. Maybe it would have been. I don't know. Another bug was... say if you had this kind of situation where the secondary slot is not full, but it's full enough that it wouldn't always be able to output to it, because you can get between 2 and 6 nuggets. So that would not necessarily fit in here, and it was trying to smelt and failing. It just kind of jittering between whether it can or cannot smelt. Another bug was if you, say, remove the output from one of the output slots, it would not start smelting again. That has allegedly been fixed. Oh, there was too many nuggets in there, right. I blame the time, it's 4 AM. And again, I can take out either of these slots and it will be okay. Alright, for the alloy smelter, let's go ahead and get it working on something here. So one bug in particular is sometimes it will start burning a piece of fuel, but not actually start smelting anything. And that's the bug that I'm having a really hard time replicating. I don't know what's causing it. That's what this debug information up here is for. If you could somehow replicate it, take a screenshot and send it to me. Maybe that'll help me. I'm not sure. But again, it's not a huge issue. If you do have problems, you could just pull some stuff out of the input slots, put it back in, and that should work just fine. Another little improvement is I've added some text to the recipes to show you how much XP you're supposed to get from smelting the different things and how long it takes. So you can see bronze and brass is 200 ticks, steel is a massive 800, Invar and electrum 400, Inderium's 800, and I've got a new little secret alloy here that don't trust that recipe. That's quite likely to change. But this is something that's kind of interesting about the way the alloy smelter recipes are set up. You can see it's going between diamonds and sapphires. Those two items don't really have anything in common. One is Ore Dictionary is gem diamond, the other one is gem sapphire. And also you'll notice that the stack size is different. And again, that's just one of the things that's kind of interesting about the way the alloy smelter recipes turned out. They're very flexible. You could tell it to put any combination of things in any particular slot. And that's what I did here, just kind of as an example. Oh yes, I almost forgot. The lit textures of the furnace and the alloy smelter are now animated. And it was actually pretty easy to do. I did have to do a little bit of digging to find good information. But this is really interesting because there's actually only 2 frames to the texture that I made, and the rest are just interpolated. It gets this nice little flashy, glowy effect. I'm not sure what you'd call it, but it looks good. I'm happy with it. Alright, so if you're willing to try out the beta version, if you've already got a release version installed, if you're using the Curse client, you may have to uninstall the release version and then go back to getting the mod and specify to download the beta. Because Curse normally favors release builds over beta builds over alpha builds, so it will get that over the latest version. So just make sure you grab the right one when you download it. And if you encounter any issues, be sure to report them on the GitHub issue tracker, which I should include a link down in the description unless I forget. And I suppose that's all I've got to say. There's definitely some things that I've changed and improved that I haven't covered in this video. And if you want the full list, there is of course a changelog attached to the version when you go to download it. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.